Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's going to be Game 1, Team Sponsor Us versus Best Coast West Coast in the grand finals of the AVGL College Smite Championships. These teams have been fighting all week, or all season long, through 6 weeks of trials for this moment here. The chance at winning first place in our tournament. It's all going to come down to these next 5 games. 26,000 gems on the line, and a nice little differential between them, and $1,000 in product as well. Let's go ahead and introduce your teams. On the left-hand side is going to be Team Sponsor Us. It's going to be Osoth playing Odin in the solo lane, Boop playing that Thor in the jungle, Cute on Scylla in the mid lane, Data Remember back on his Apollo as the Hunter, and Cardiac playing Kepri in the support role.
And on the Chaos side, we have an entirely different roster in a sense for Best Coast West Coast. Yowie Stick in the support role now playing Athena. Man Ray going to play the Hunter as Ram. Viper 196 going to be in the mid lane as Agni. John Perry, one of their subs, is going to be Tyr in the solo lane. And Sauza is going to be on Kabrakan in the jungle.
Wow.
Basically 5 new players. This is an entirely different team.
Yeah, essentially, John Perry subbing in for Zorion in this game. Maybe the set, I'm not 100% sure on that one. But Souza taking now from the support role into the jungle. Yowie Stick moving from mid to support. Man Ray going out of the jungle and into Hunter, and Viper coming from the Hunter position into the mid lane. So, as you said, basically 5 new players in this sense. How is Team Sponsors going to handle this role swap? So far, they've seemed to be able to handle just about everything that's been thrown at them. So we'll see what kind of aggression Souza has on this Kabrakan this time around, as we do see that he has Blink picked up. Meanwhile, 2 sets of Purification on Agni and Agni and Man Ray. Sprint out for the Athena and teleport for Tyr. Camps are going to be started here. Pretty standard on the left-hand side. I don't think Apollo was actually able to quite hit that little So Beautiful there, but it doesn't quite matter. Their clear is pretty strong anyways. No invasions, no crazy stuff coming out from them. Looks like it's just going to be a very standard start as the mid laners are making their way into the lane right now.
Yeah, they do both make it there at the same time. Fortunately for Scylla, who needs to kind of get there early to get that crush online and start getting those auto attacks sooner than later. Thor is already rotated to the mid lane. Sauza a little bit behind, but does have to blink. Uses the blink to get under the tower to not tank any creeps. That's a little bit of a risky strategy right there to use that so soon. I mean, I don't know when he would have used it quite yet anyway. And it's not on a terribly long cooldown, but it's still gone for another minute and a half here. Unfortunately for him, that is gonna maybe be up by the time he's about level 5 though.
Yeah, I think so, with it being still, as you mentioned, over a minute and a half on its cooldown. It's going to take a while for it to come up, so we're not going to be probably expecting too much aggression come out of them. As you can see, they're being zoned out at the moment. They're going to have to take the safe route all the way back into tower as Boop and Cute were ready. Looks like they're making a rotation over to the left-hand side. They're not going for these wars. They're going for the kills. Man Ray's been abducted. The taunt comes out of Yowie Stick. Already rolled. Man Ray doesn't even realize. Here comes the Thor wall. Double tap Berserker's Barrage. Man Ray's going to fall. First blood. He goes the way of Team Sponsor Us. The Boop on his Thor.
Team Sponsor Us, the 4-man in the left lane at just a minute and a half in. That is risky, but they were able to do it because Scylla and Thor were able to make it. Oh, Osath's going to take down John Perry in the right lane right there. You cannot get jumped on by Odin early on like that. Looks like Odin didn't even take hardly any damage for that. He is going to get that Dire Boar for free now because that Team Sponsor is showing up way strong for this game right away.
Yeah, after the display we had last game, it looks like these players aren't quite as comfortable in these roles as they are in their other ones. As you can see, John Perry got soloed down by Osoth very early over there in the lane, but Tyr, until he hits level 3, is probably one of the easiest gods to kill. Once he hits level 3, it's a little bit easier for him, but was able to just get caught out by Osoth there, who now has his ultimate and is going to be able to shut down Tyr pretty quickly. If John Perry steps out at any point, Osoth can just drop that ultimate and deal an immense amount of damage to him.
John Perry is going to have to be a little careful here against Odin coming back into the lane right now. He needs to make sure that he's not going to... It's going to be hard for him. He's going to lose some money to the tower. That's just going to have to be how it's going to go if Odin decides to keep the pressure on right now. He is tanking a little bit of the creeps, but Odin decides to go for his Dire Boar. Lets him have that wave for free, but he's getting more XP because of it as well. So that's exactly kind of what he wants to keep doing. Is clearing the waves as fast as possible, then going into the jungle and getting more XP on top of what John Perry is getting.
So you mean he's being Odin and just jumping into the wave because that's how he does it.
Yes, I mean he's Odin and doing Odin things. But
Yep.
that only lasts so long. Tier is way more viable later game for the rest of Best Coast, West Coast, in my opinion. The Odin Ring of Spears is obviously a great piece of his kit and pretty much the only reason he's picked for the later game. But Tier will be doing way more damage and a little bit more. He's harder to lock down. Look at this 3-man invade on this red buff right now. Team Sponsors is just taking as much as they can right now, but Thor's getting aggressed on quite a bit right there. Oh, he is going to get caught, unfortunately. He's going to try and just run as fast as possible. Kraken's going to ult on him. Viper's going to pick him up. Bibon Boop credited with his death there as well. Agni's trying to run away as fast as possible. The Viper is going to go down to Data Remember, who gets a double kill onto Yowie Stick as well, making this 4-1 at just still under 5 minutes going into 4 minutes. Team Sponsors averaging a kill a minute right now.
Yeah, Team Sponsor Us is definitely showing up this game. They're going no bars held here. They're making sure to shut down their opponent as quick as possible. As we saw in that one, it was a 3-man taunt, which was very strong, but unfortunately there wasn't a whole lot to capitalize on. They expended a lot of ultimates just to kill Bibon Boop there. And because of that, they didn't have any for the follow-up of that fight. They were just able to allow Cute to walk into the backline, get a nice couple auto attacks, but Data Remember with that Golden Bow was able to get so much damage off. And as we can see, Man Ray has not elected to go Golden Bow. He's actually gone Death's Toll into now a finished out Iqbal. Not sure how I feel about finishing an Iqbal this early in the game. The double tap just going to miss off on Viper. He's going to port in, get a nice little tower shot onto there by Bibon Boop. As solo lane, once again, John Perry kind of been put under tower here. Not able to do too much as the blue buff is being aggressed on here by Osa. So Osa not able to do too much here. Bibon Boop going to try and help out with it. Yowie making his rotation over. He's going to get it. Bomb comes out from Viper, but not sure where it's going.
Bibon going up in the air.
Going to go down onto Viper. Viper's going to have to use his purification. Drops the stun. A little bit late on that one as the hammer is going to go out just in time. Bibon Boop's going to get credit for that kill. Souza going to try and go through, but it's going to be stopped. It's been
I know, I'm so confused.
Last time. Like,
Osaf has a lot of people right now. He's at the blue buff. He does get that blue buff, but he has 3 people right there. And they're just going to have to walk away, unfortunately, because Tyr has no mana, and they're not going to be able to kill him with just Yowie Stick, unfortunately for that. But Bibon Boop decides to just say, hey, John Perry, you are not going to back right there, right in front of me. We're going to turn and just burn you. And they do just that, unfortunately for him. Soza's going to get jumped on, taking half his health. The Ring of Spears coming out. He's going to go down easily if they land one more thing. Cardiac credited with that kill. Athena might go down here as well. Yowie Stick trying their best to get out. The dash is ready, and he is under tower, so he's going to be able to walk away with that. But Best Coast, West Coast getting picked out a lot, just randomly right here. They're getting so aggressive.
7-1 in 6 minutes. This is going to be rough for Best Coast to come back into, especially since a lot of the gods who need to be online, a lot of these gods who don't need to be falling behind early are falling behind. Kraken is not a great god from behind, arguably one of the worst gods from behind.
Oseth just chunked John Perry for half of his health with one jump. He stole the Dire Boar and made John Perry just have to think about his life choices right now and what he wants to do with the rest of this lane, because this is going to be difficult for him to even show up to this lane, let alone fight Oseth.
For the gank onto Data Remember, he's going to immediately throw out the meds. Not going to be able to do too much for him. A little bit of damage coming out, but Data Remember is returning it fairly well. So Beautiful comes out. Shield wall. Cardiac is here to try and stop this one. Purification has been popped, and the sprint from Yowie Stick has also been popped. Man Ray is going to go ahead and get out of that fight there.
Thor is up in the air right now. He might be trying to make something happen, but he doesn't quite see anyone in the jungle. Is forced to go on to Best Coast, West Coast's red buff right there, and not able to make too much go on there.
It looks like we might have hit a little bit of a stasis here.
Yep, I was wondering if you hit it as well. I was hoping it was just my internet, but it is a stasis mode, it looks like.
I'm not quite sure what's the cause of this one here. Go ahead and kind of discuss it, what we can see here at the moment. 0, 0, and 3 so far by Cute, but he has been putting out a massive amount of damage so far this game. Putting out 2,100 against his opponent's 1,400, but Data Remember, 4,200 player damage at 7 minutes on an Apollo. Not something that's very easy to achieve this early on in the game.
No, it definitely is. And I think some of that is accredited to that throwing dagger for sure. He maybe is getting a few lucky crits with that. It is only 10% critical chance. but it does happen sometimes, and that is maybe what he's going for. Maybe just a lot of So Beautiful's hitting as well. I haven't seen a lot of him. Honestly, a lot of that came down to that fight around 4 minutes into the game when they were up in the top left corner of the map there between the tier 1 and tier 2 towers. I think a lot of that damage came from then because he was around that whole fight, and there was multiple people for Best Coast, West Coast there. So I think he's just kind of sitting in the back, just ping, 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 sniping around, doing his best. And I mean, he's showing his best right now. Odin can't even keep up with this damage, and Odin is known for his early damage. And he has almost 3,500 damage there as well, so he's not far behind, but he's stomping all over John Perry, which is understandable. But you can avoid a lot of that with tier. It's nice, though, to have, if you go against Odin and you know it, to pick a solo laner that has a jump, so you can just jump in place when he jumps on top of you, avoiding almost entirely his whole kit of damage. And then you can just turn and fight him, and he can't do a whole lot about it. But Tyr cannot jump unless he uses his ultimate, which he does not want to use every single wave because that's impossible. So he's in a literally really bad place for that. I'm interested to see what Souza's doing right now. He's been pretty aggressive, and he hasn't been credited with any kills and actually has 1 death because of it. But Best Coast West Coast only has 1 kill, unfortunately. But he's been doing a decent job of
looks like the game is finally kicking back off here after our little bit of a stasis mode. Thank goodness. I thought we were gonna have another bad issue here, but we are finally getting out of the stasis mode. So he's gonna get a nice stun onto Bib Bomb Boob's gonna save the life of Manry. A great Kabrakan wall. While it didn't catch anybody on his side of it, it did put 3 people on the wrong end of the wall. Cute's gonna miss the I'm a Monster there. A great juke by Yowie6 gonna avoid that one. Rising Dawn's gonna come through. It's not gonna connect to anyone. Bib Bomb Boob's gonna try and stop that back yet again. So this is gonna blink through. He's gonna get the Seismic Crush, the Tectonic to the shield, but doesn't matter. Ultimate's gonna come through for Cardiac's gonna save Bib Bomb Boop's life. He's gonna be able to get out of there. Man Ray missing the shots on that ultimate.
Osath is just doing Osath things in the right lane right now, trying to take down this tower as fast as possible. He actually is trying to fight John Perry. John Perry has to ult out, but not able to do it. Data, remember, is able to take down Souza in the left lane there after a failed gank. It looks like Yowie Stick is going to ult on to Man Ray, who wants to try and close this gap, but Apollo is pretty fast, and especially with the dashes. Osath is able to finish off John Perry in the right lane there. He's just soloing him constantly, and that tower is going to be dead pretty quickly here, as he's going to be able to clear this wave with 1 jump and have almost an entire wave just attacking this tower. They know that blue buff is up as well. Team sponsor is looking to aggress on this blue buff and these bat camps, just totally neglecting Souza of any XP in that jungle.
Yeah, they are not holding anything back in this game, trying to shut down the new player and pretty much shut down this roster, this little role swap that they're having here. Best Coast hasn't been able to really do anything with it. I'm not sure what the call was for this one. I mean, surely if you were throwing John Perry in Zorion's place, there wasn't really any reason for them to switch around this role swap. So I think that they tried to do this in an attempt to throw Team Sponsor us off, or an attempt to get a new, fresh angle at it. But so far, it's been working out about as well as their last attempts have been. I really want to see them swap back to their more comfortable roles that they've been playing for the majority of the day.
Yeah, unfortunately, it just isn't working out for him. And even though it is nice and fresh, it is not very tasty. It is not going well for them at all. John Perry, I don't think he's a bad player by any means. I think he's just not doing well against this matchup. And when you die early against Odin like that, it's really hard to come back, unfortunately. Apollo getting aggressive right now. Data, remember, had to go up into the air. Man Ray running for his life right now. So Beautiful is not going to connect. But we see Viper with the nice rotation there. Hits that ultimate and stun and the flame wave. It's going to take down Data. Remember, Viper getting another second kill there for Best Coast West Coast, as Kepri is forced to ult himself.
But here's Bib Bomb Boop comes crashing down onto 4 of them. Viper's going to be soloed out of this fight here. Looks like he's going to be hit by the root from Kepri. A nice dash stun is going to get the kill onto him. He's going to drop himself to Cute. However, it's going to be a 1-1 trade in that sense. 2-2 overall in the engagement. Bib Bomb Boop with a beautiful 4-man ultimate as the aggression goes back onto Souza's shield wall, and a taunt's going to go ahead and aggress that fight there. He doesn't want to back there. Mjolnir's Tumen is back up. Cute is here. Souza has nowhere to go. No way of backing, no way of really just getting out of this situation at all. If those minions come in through that tower, expect there to be aggression. Doesn't need him. Great blink by Souza is going to get him out of that. Mjolnir's Tumen. This is when you back Souza. You need to leave now before that Mjolnir's Tumen comes back. Stop trying to fight them and just leave Souza. You only get that trick.
He knows Man Ray is on his way. He's trying to bait this aggression from him right now, because here comes Man Ray jumping in behind right there. Gets the silence. Man Ray is able to finish him off. Bibom Boop goes down because he is unable to finish that kill onto Souza and Yaoi Stick for that matter, and pays for that over aggression. That's three easy kills that Best Coast West Coast picked up there because of just some over aggression and just little misplays from Team Sponsor Us.
Viper is back here. It's another 3-man group up in the dual lane. Meanwhile, Osoth once again gets another pickoff on a John Perry. John Perry not having a great game this time around. So you can see Osoth rocking that. Is that the PlayStation Odin or is that a Diamond Odin? I'm not sure anymore.
I'm not sure at the moment. They look very similar, but he had him in that Ring of Spirits. Unfortunately, Kepri in maybe a little bit of trouble right now. He gets taunted in the middle. Oh, Souza instantly. He just goes down to the 3 of them right there. Best Coast doing a good job of trying to pick off what they can. Man Ray's going to fall in the left lane there as well, unfortunately for him. Data Remember is just going nuts right now. 4-1 at just 11 minutes in. He's going to be hard to deal with because he's going to start tanking towers very quickly.
Viper, no. Viper is going to get out at the moment as Bibom Boop chooses not to further his aggression into tower. Never mind, as Bibom Boop is going back into the air. I don't know if Viper can spot it or not. That shrubbery is actually kind of cutting him off a little bit. Like to go into the tower. Great taunt into the path of flames, and Bibom Boop is going to pay for his aggression yet again. This time falling to... Was it Yaoi or Souza who picked up in that one?
Lost to Souza on that one.
Yeah, that's right. Souza picks that one up. So that's going to be another kill going the way of Souza. Maybe not the best of role swaps that we've had, but they're definitely trying to make it work here in this portion. Osoth making his way over. He's just going to have to elect to go into the wave that John Perry's pushed up. John Perry very far behind here. He is 2,200 gold behind, and that's actually making up of the vast majority of this 5,200 gold deficit that they have at the moment.
That is nice that they're able to start coming back from that. Best Coast West Coast doing their best to just counter-react to Team Sponsor's over-aggression right there. Bibom Boop is known, in my opinion, every game I've seen him, he's known for being overly aggressive sometimes and trying to make some plays that maybe he can't quite make. Owen with a blink into the Ring of Spears. He's going to grab Agni right there, who is dead to rights. Osat's going to pick up Viper 196. Easily right there. John Perry elects to stay in the right lane though, whereas Sousa's getting aggressive on I'm a Monster gonna come out, not gonna take down Osat, but is gonna take down Yaoi Stick because he suddenly just showed up there as well. There's all 5 members of Team Sponsor Us electing to go to that Gold Fury. He's already started to it, and that's gonna be pretty simple for them to pick up.
Yeah, I don't see any way of them being able to get it unless Man Ray gets some crazy, sexy snipes. It doesn't matter. He's way too late and likely going to fall for this one as he stayed up in the air a little bit too long. Here comes the ultimate from Bibom Boop. Looks like he may take the damage of the tower. Not going to be enough as the Kepri ult comes out just in case. Osoth picks off Man Ray in the mid lane. Meanwhile, John Perry, nowhere to be seen in this fight.
He couldn't really do a whole lot anyway in that fight, given Osath is level 16. If he did rotate, he'd probably just die instantly anyway. I kind of like to see him just farm up a little bit more in that right lane, although he stayed there a long time. But, I mean, what was he going to do anyway? If he's going to rotate, he's going to meet 4 members of Team Sponsor Us and then just get picked off easily, kind of like Viper is doing right now. Met up with 3 of Team Sponsor Us and has to use the Sanctuary just to get rid of some of that damage. Yet remember doing his best to land his auto attacks, and he does finish him off with just 1 more auto attack. Viper 196 going down once again. He's sitting 3-5 right now.
Had some great juice there. Was able to live a lot longer than he should have. A lot of missed auto attacks. The Odin Cage comes out yet again. Souza's going to fall. And while we mentioned earlier that Tyr's going to do a lot more than Odin, I think even if the game was even at this point for those 2 solo laners, against this team, who's going to get out of Odin's cage? No one.
Right, yeah. That is proven. That's what is happening right now. He's proven to be very difficult to deal with. Data Remember is going to get credited with that kill as 3 members of Team Sponsor Us. Diving Tower is the kill. Yaoi Stick going to take that tier 2 tower right after they took that tier 1. There is only 2 towers standing left for Best Coast West Coast, and we're just hitting the 15-minute mark.
You are not in the best of spots here, Mr. Perry. You got 3 people surrounding you. Lawbringer's going to come out and following. Oh, no one's going to finish up on that one. So John Perry is going to make it out of there. Lawbringer, the only thing expended on that one. Could have been a lot worse for him, but managed to get the better end of that.
I like the team sponsors is using their aggression right now and using their lead to take objectives. Too many times, ooh, Yowie Stick gonna get taken down there. Cute's gonna take Viper out there with I'm a Monster. Looks like he might be able to get this crush if it's online. He's not able to do it. Waiting to dash for him. Everyone's running. Ring of Spears just narrowly catches Yowie Stick. Osath gonna be credited with one last auto attack on Yowie Stick, who's gonna fall once again. 4 deaths for him. What is John Perry doing? Get out of there. What? He tried to go heal. Ran back into it and just takes too much damage. Osath going to get another kill there. 8-0 right now. I'd have to say that Odin is a huge part of this victory for Team Sponsor Us, even though they were winning in their own lanes prior to Odin rotating.
Osath bringing back the week 1 and I believe as well the week 2 Odin that he's done so well on. This is a god that he has gone back to a couple of times and it's doing an exceptional job almost every time that he's done it as well. It's a great team for him to pick it up again. So he's going to throw out the wall, but it's not going to do anything to him as he's going to fall to the double tap Berserker's Barrage combo of Bibom Boop.
He has nowhere to run. There's no towers in that mid lane for him. Unfortunately, he just gets caught and has to try and run away, but he has nowhere to go. Look at that ward coverage in the mid lane right there. It's 3 wards, 2 sentries, and a regular ward there. That is a lot of ward coverage for Team Sponsor Us.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not a whole lot that they can do at this point. Taking a look at just the wards placed, Cardiac has placed 9 wards just by himself. Meanwhile, everybody else placing either 2 or 1 for his team. Yowie Stick, the only one who has placed a significant amount of wards for his, really 6 wards placed by
Osath getting really aggressive right now, finding 3 people right there. Bibom Boop comes and lands right onto Viper 196, but he's not able to do too much of it. Agni is going to go down to I'm a Monster, comes out. Will he be able to finish off Viper? And it's very close, but he does dodge it just narrowly by walking away. Bibom Boop taking a lot of damage here, is able to get out with the teleport. Comes back in, Cute's able to finish off John Perry, who isn't doing a whole lot right now. Down from the skies comes Apollo Day to remember to help have Bibom Boop finish off the Yowie Stick. Surrender vote coming out for Best Coast West Coast, looking that they know this might be the end for them.
Yeah, it's looking like this is going to be a GG for Best Coast unless they get something crazy as Osath gets a 2-man bird bomb. Viper going to take a massive chunk of health as well as Man Ray going to have to walk away from that one. Phoenix falls. Sickham's just going to be off the mark. Doesn't matter because the bird bomb's going to hit yet again. Man Ray's going up into the air. He's going to get 1. He's going to get 2. Gonna miss the 3rd shot there as Bibom Boop teleports just barely out of that one. Don't think he would have fallen in that case, but definitely would have come close to it. And Best Coast, West Coast are on the backs of their feet right now. There's really not much that they can do. They need to start winning some more team fights and really start getting some farm. John Perry really being the falter on this case right here, being so far down, 6 levels behind his lane opponent. If we look at the graphs, 21,000 experience, 13,700 gold as the teleport from Cute is going to make sure to get him out of that bad situation. Man Ray and Sosa trying to re-aggress as the 2-man Sikkim crush hits, and that's going to disengage that fight entirely. Yowie Stick is here, though. Taunt's going to come through. Data Remember's in a little bit of a bad spot. Curse has been popped. Sikkim crush is going to do a lot of damage. They're going to fall. Cute's going to miss the I'm a Monster. Man Ray's looking to regress onto it. Sanctuary's coming in. Bibom Boop's in the sky. Where's he going to go down onto? Just going to miss the shot onto Yowie Stick. Osath's going to pick up the kill with the bird bomb.
Look at that support from Team Sponsor Us. The gas might finish him off. Viper comes in and finishes off a Day to Remember, but he is going to go down because of that. Cute finishes off Viper as well there. That was a lot just to get that 1 kill. He just wanted to rush in. They were trying so hard to kill Day to Remember. I loved his Sanctuary. It was timed so well. He didn't have to use it, Then Yowie Stick came right back in, almost got him. Pop Sanctuary. The rest of his team comes in and is like, oh, we got you, friend. No big deal.
Teleport coming out from Bibom Boop over to John Perry, who is split pushing over in the right-hand lane. Hammer going to come through. Berserker Barrage going to do a little bit of damage. John Perry, however, sitting about 2/3 of his HP. Another double tap's going to hit. I imagine the wall's going to stop him. No, the wall's going to cut off one angle. Berserker Barrage is going to do another chunk of damage. John Perry's got to juke out this double tap. He keeps getting hit by them, keeps taking so much damage. Bibom Boop going into the sky, likely going to try and land back down on John Perry. Actually going to Lawbringer out of it. Double tap's going to finish him off. 4. Mjolnir's attunements to shut down John Perry there. Yowie's taking a bad spot. Make that 5 double taps that Bibom Boop has hit successfully in a row. That's going to get him a double kill.
Best Coast West Coast is definitely going to end this soon, or Team Sponsor is going to end it for Best Coast West Coast soon, because they are sitting there knocking at their door, just finishing them off, and Team Best Coast can't do anything against them right now. Millionaire's attunement maybe going to come out. Nope, he doesn't want to go for it. Decides to turn around and says, Soza, you're annoying me. Osath finishes him off. Best Coast just unable to answer for anything right now the Team Sponsor is throwing at him. They're just way too far ahead as we see Team Sponsor aggressing onto this Fire Giant right now. They're doing the best they can to take it down, but they remember to take quite a bit of damage here. He needs to be very careful. Scylla does tank that for him. Team Sponsor takes down the Fire Giant with Osath jumping right back on top of it. They're going to heal up a little bit here through some just mid-wave minions. Man Ray up in the air trying to pick off anyone that he can. Hits all three and just barely does any damage. He is so far behind right now.
Yeah, I mean, Best Coast is all way too far behind at this point. Almost everybody except for a couple level 19s on the way of Team Sponsor Us. That'd be Data Remember and Bib on Boop, and Cardiac at 15. But it's not often we see the supports hit level 20. I think Soza is one of the only supports who really hit level 20 whenever he was playing. Data Remember with a nice mez there. It's going to keep you guys from further aggressing onto that, but this is almost just a pure experience difference here with 26,500 experience difference, 16,700 gold. Really, in all honesty, I don't see any way of Best Coast coming back. They're too far behind where even if they get a wipe, it's not really going to matter. They have all the towers still available on the map. They remember going to get taunted again. Viper going to drop a few bombs. Sanctuary's going to be popped to avoid that. Viper's going to try and dash to save himself a little bit. Bib on Boop coming in the backhand. Cute's going to get a kill. Bib on Boop's going to get one. Double kill onto John Perry. Yaoi Stick's trying to make his way out as Cardiac goes in and grabs Man Ray. Cute's going to get a double kill for himself. Yaoi is doing his best to try and take down Yaoi Stick here. Yaoi Stick's going to try and dash away from everything else while the rest of the team goes towards the Titan. And that's going to be game. It's going to be Bib on Boop and the boys at Team Sponsor Us taking down Best Coast West Coast in Game 1 of the Grand Finals here. That's going to be GG.
GG indeed, but there is a as we have potentially 4 more games here. They could win 2 more in a row on in favor of Best Coast. I think they need to go back to the drawing board as far as what they're going to do with their game plan, though, because that did not work at all.
No, I think there were too many of them that did a role swap, and all just because John Perry came in. I don't know if it's the synergy missing out with Zorion that they wanted to try something new, but John Perry, I would say maybe not performing quite up to the level that Zorion could, and the rest of the team with this whole role swap they did just really didn't work out for them. So going into Game 2, I really want to see them go back to the roots that they were at. So I'm hoping coming into Game 2, or really that's really about all that we can say. I mean, Cute going off, Bib on Boob, Osath dominating in his lane. Really, that's pretty much just the name of the game. It's just it's been domination in all lanes, and the roles I think just need to go back to where they were. So we'll be back in just a moment with Game 2 of the Grand Finals of the AVGL College Smite Championships.